Going over none other than BT-16 finally. We're going to break down card by card to see what they kind of gave us all to work with. So I'm excited to talk about everything. So let's get into the video, shall we? So first off, we have none of them. We're going to do color coded. So we're going to talk about red, blue, yellow, yada, blah, 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 blah. So first off, we're going to talk about Poromon. So this is Huckmon's baby form. This is basically 8.5 in my opinion. This set was 8 sets in the making, plus side sets and everything else. But it's crazy to finally have consistent support that actually combos extremely well and consistently. So this card alone, when attacking, once per turn, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 2000 DP or less. To be honest with you, I don't think this is going to be seen play unless there's a lot more minusing DP, but we'll have to see. Huckmon. Interesting enough, in this set, they introduced a really interesting gameplay functionality. As you can see, like, this one can Digivolve for 1 on a green and a yellow. 0 cost on Poromon, but your turn when one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolved, if the Digimon is yellow or has free trait, if that Digimon is yellow or is a free trait, gain 1 memory. When attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So, not bad. I think the problem comes down to is what these rookies are going to have going forwards. For these guys, they really make some weird, interesting value changes. I get it, so it's because the armors can be almost any color combination, and then you're not as restricted to just being namesake. I kind of get it where they're trying to make it splashable, but at the same time, it's a really interesting mechanic. And Inquilimon, Aqualamon. So this card here Digivolves on top of Huckmon. It has jamming on play. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. When attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. What's pretty cool about the champions in this set is that they show the perspective of each card. So if they're going to be Jockersing, you're going to see Gadomon's point of view when we get to Gadomon, looking up into a Qualamon, and the vice versa here. So that's kind of cool in my opinion. Then we have Lynxmon. So raid, armor purge, when Digivolving one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. It's Gatomon 0 cost evolution. It's kind of cool that we get some more armors. It could definitely change things up. Then we got the X antibody line for the Garudamon X antibody. We got Phoenixmon support in the set, which is not terrible. So when Digivolving on top of Garurumon for 0 cost, on play, when Digivolving, you may return 1 red card from your trash to your hand. Then if Garurumon or X antibody is in this Digimon's Digievolution card, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. And then your turn, when a red Digimon card is returned from your trash to your hand, one of your Digimon gains Rush for the turn. So it combos nicely with the deck's overarching theme because you're going to be returning stuff from trash to hand. You're going to be placing stuff on the field. But on deletion, trash the top card opponent's security stack, which is going to be really nice for the Phoenixmon's effects because you want to use the on deletion effect. So you get to just trash a security for free is really good. Then we have Helugermon. So it has retaliation. End of opponent's turn. Delete this Digimon. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. On deletion, you may play 1 Luga or Natsumi from your trash without paying its costs. So not bad. It's a good card. I think it's really good for the deck what it wants to do. I think, though, I don't know how many you would play of this. Then you have Sylphimon. Sylphimon's going to be first time we're going to talk about Partition. When this Digimon with 1 of each specified card in its Digivolution would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects or in battle, you may play 1 of each card without paying their cost. So you get to basically, when this Digimon is lost in security, something like that, with a security effect or option removal or Digimon effect, at least you get 2 bodies out of the deal. Really accessible to blue. It's going to be really rough because blue's going to make it. Really, source stripping really hurts this deck. But being able to DNA Digivolve for red and yellow, which is going to be Gato and a Qualamon. So when Digivolving, if DNA, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP until the end of the turn. When Digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. Most 11Ks get popped by it. Sylphimon's effect here. So So it's not terrible, especially if we get an inheritable that minuses even further, then we can easily pop. And it's not once per turn, so this is, if you can keep going off when Digivolving, you get to pop an 11k, basically because one's going to be DNA Digivolving with that. But you also get the when attacking, so you can kill off a rookie too. So it's not bad, it's got potential. Then you have Phoenixmon X Antibody when Digivolving Blitz, your turn. While Phoenixmon or X-Animated Digi-Evolution cards add End of Attack to all the Digimon's on deletion effects. So basically, you get to use all your on deletion, which is ridiculous. On deletion, you may play one red Digimon with Avian, Bird, Beast, Animal, Sovereign, other than Sea Animal in one of their traits with 11,000 DP or less from your hand without paying its cost. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to the DP of the Digimon played by this effect. Phoenixmon X Antibody really spiced up Phoenixmon. Really not gonna lie here. It's pretty good, actually. You have Valkyremon Ace. So, Burst Digi-Evolution on play when Digivolving all your opponent's Digimon get minus 5,000 DP for the turn. And then all turns when a card is removed from your security deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. If an effect didn't delete, this Digimon gets a security +1 until the end of your turn. So he gets another attack. And it's really cool because this can stack. You know, this is ridiculous here. When a card is removed from a security stack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. If they have nothing, Valkyremon's gonna check once, take it out. If it's on your opponent's turn and they take one of your security, they didn't have it 8,000, it gets an extra security check, and then boom, if they didn't kill it, you get to swing in, you'll check one, and then it'll check another, because it'll gain the extra security check, creating a 3-check system, as long as they didn't kill it. So, then you have Goldramon X Antibody, it has Raid, Digivolves on top of a Goldramon. When Digivolving, when attacking, you may use one Gold Flame, or one option card with 4 great dragon traits from your hand without paying its cost. So, really good to just spit stuff out. And then all turns, this Digimon gains all effects of Goldramon in its Digi-Evolution cards. So it keeps the tokens on board, which is very important because it wanted to do something with the tokens and it would lose it if you Digivolved, but now it doesn't because it keeps all the effects of Goldramon, so it just keeps them on board. So, not bad. I think Goldramon X Antibody is really solid. We'll have to see what happens with Goldramon. Maybe it'll make it actually pretty good. Then we have Beast Storm Dance of Love. You may play one Inquilimon and Gatomon from your hand without paying its cost. Then 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon in your hand. The DNA Digivolve by this effect gains security +1 for the turn and then may attack a player. Then, you know, security, you may play one Hawkmon or Salamon from your hand or traps without paying the cost, then add this card to your hand. It's not bad. You know, this can lead to being some combos into a Joggerus, into doing some shenanigans. It has a lot of potential. We'll have to see. Is it going to do something? I don't know. It really depends on everything. Yoli and Kari start a main phase. You may play one Hawkmon or Salamon from your hand without paying its cost. At the next turn of your opponent's turn, return that Digimon to hand. Basically, you're just going to Joggerus it and then get it off the board. Then your turn, when one of your Digimon Digivolves into a red or yellow Digimon, by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory. If you DNA Digivolve, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. So, basically, you're going to try to DNA Digivolve. Sylphimon would just basically be able to delete anything, which is pretty good. I think being able to get rid of 13k bodies is really nasty. So that's all red. Really solid cards. Yoli and Kari definitely a really good card. Sylphie and Valkyremon Ace is really good. The X Antibody stuff is really going to help the decks out that they're supposed to do. And I really hope that red really can do some crazy shenanigans with the support it got. Now let's get into blue. The Vmon line. You got Demi Vmon. While this Digimon has 2 or more colors, it gains 1,000 DP. Most of the eggs will have this stipulation, so just keep that in mind. Then we have Vmon that has the weirdest evolutions. So it looks for Demi V for 0 cost. Digivolves on purple and green for 1. And then basically Vmon is a blue-red card. Your turn, when one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolved, if that Digimon is green or has the free trait, it gains 1 memory. So it really helps out in both decks, kind of. If I remember correctly, you're going to be playing it in both. So just keep an eye out on Vmon. Then you have Patamon here that says start a main phase on play. If it is your turn, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a level 4 card with Angel or Freeness traits from your hand with the Digievolution cost reduced by 1. It Digivolves on black and yellow, and then Tokomon for 0. When attacking, trash the top Digievolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Really nasty, just being able to Digivolve them for nothing. This is really interesting. Nightclaw and Light Fang got some support. You got jamming here, which is really good because the deck really needed some sort of jamming mechanic to be able to swing in and not worry about magic numbers, because some things are beefy as can be. When Digivolving, both players draw the top card of their deck. Then, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, or if this Digimon has 3 or more Digievolutions, gain 1 memory. So this can help out really solidly. I mean, being able to Digivolve for 1 cost into Galgamon here for the Nightclaw deck, which is basically Galacticmon, I think it has some potential. We'll have to see if it's actually enough. Then we have Togamogumon. So this card is a Hedgehog, Ice Hedgehog. It's blocker, armor purge, all turns. When it Digivolves on top of Wormmon for 2 costs. When an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, trash the top Digievolution card of one of their Digimon. Then one of their Digimon with no Digievolution cannot attack or block until the end of turn. So, trash top card of the Digievolution. Jeez. XVmon here. So, Digievolution cost of 2. Digivolves purple and green. Raid on play when Digivolving one of your Digimon cannot be deleted in battle until the end of opponent's turn. Wow, Raid can do some crazy shenanigans. Your turn when this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. So XVmon could do some crazy shenanigans. We'll have to see. Angemon here is blocker on play when Digivolving, unsuspend one of your level 4 or lower Digimon. Basically, they gave old XVmon skill here, just with an on play, so it just kind of out. The XVmon effect kind of got tossed out with this. Angemon, when attacking, trash the top Digievolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. So basically, trash the top is nasty. Then you have Manta Raymon, Digivolves on top of Patamon, Armor Purge, when Digivolving, trash any one Digievolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digievolutions gain a security attack -1 until the end of turn. There's an armor card. Then you have Divemon, which is Pulsemon support. So Pulsemon got multicolor 2 evolutions. This is just really crazy set. On play, when Digivolving, if you have 3 or more security, unsuspend one of your Digimon. If you have 3 or fewer security, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to the bottom of their deck. Not a bad get it out of here kind of card effect. End of attack, if this Digimon has Pulsemon in its deck, by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. Free multi-attacking, you can't go wrong with Divemon. Pyldramon. Pyldramon's actually quite good. You would probably want to play this in All Force and in the normal deck of Imperialdramon. So Pyldramon has partition. We talked about it earlier. When Digivolving, suspend all your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digievolution cards as this Digimon. Then if you DNA Digivolve, all your opponent's Digimon cannot unsuspend until the end of opponent's turn. When attacking, suspend one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. If it in its effect did not suspend, unsuspend this Digimon. So multi-attacking with Pyldramon's not bad. So really solid. Then we have Magna Angemon here on play when Digivolving. If it's your turn, search your security stack. This Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with Angemon or 3 Great Angels traits among them with a Digivolution cost reduced by 2. Then shuffle your security stack. If Digivolved by this effect, you may place 1 card with Angel, Archangel, or 3 Great Angel traits from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. Opponent's turn, all your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or 3 Great Angels traits gain blocker. So it's not a bad card. I see this possibly seeing play when the EX6 set comes out, when we have the more support for the 3 Great Angels. So we'll have to see. Vikemon Ace is quite nutty here. And yes, they had to do this for Shakuamon and Zudomon because they're both part of their evolution. So on play, when Digivolving, Digivolve 2 of your opponent's Digimon, then all your opponent's Digimon with 1 or fewer Digievolution cards cannot suspend until the end of opponent's next end of their turn. And then when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 1 or fewer Digievolution cards. Not bad. It's got some good control. Vikemon's going to definitely do some crazy shenanigans. We'll have to see what happens there. Imperialdramon Fighter Mode Ace. Counter Blast Digievolution. On play, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digievolution cards than this Digimon to the bottom of the deck. End of attack. Unsuspend this Digimon, then one, if you have Imperial Digimon Dragon Mode in its Digievolution cards, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So, not bad. Multi-attacking, be able to remove end of attack is pretty interesting. It should have been when attacking. Should have done that because it would have done better, but it just doesn't get around blocker, basically. That's what they're trying to prevent, is that at least people can block. Then you have Imperial Digimon Dragon Mode. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers cannot unsuspend until the end of their turn, and then by suspending one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, unsuspend one of your Digimon. So, at least not a bad thing. You can cause this thing to lock down a Tamer or a Digimon, and then you unsuspend him and he can swing again. All turns when an opponent's Digimon is played or Digivolved by an effect. If you have a Tamer, this Digimon may Digivolve into Dragon Fighter mode in your hand without paying its cost. Free Warp is not bad for Dragon mode to go into Ace. And then Invincible Dragon of Unity. You may play one XVmon Stigmon from your hand without paying cost. Then two of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card in your hand. Until the end of your opponent's turn, the DNA Digivolved by this effect cannot be deleted by battle and gains blocker. And then it just plays a Vmon and Warmon from your hand or trash without paying its cost. Then it adds it to your hand. Same thing, I don't know if this option will see play, but it is a option no less. And then we got a new Davis and Ken. So, starter main phase. Basically, all the new dual Tamers are going to play their one of their pieces that they need to spit out for free, and then returns to your, at the end of your opponent's turn, return that Digimon to hand. What's going to happen is you're going to Jogress to get it off the board anyway, so it disappears. So, your turn, when one of your Digimon Digivolves into a blue or green Digimon by suspending this Tamer, gain a memory. If DNA Digivolve, trash any 3 Digievolution cards of your opponent's Digimon. So remember, you got to do all. This is not a segmented effect. If I am wrong, let me know. But you have to do a when one of your Digimon Digivolves into a blue or green, suspend the Tamer, gain a memory. If you DNA Digivolved, trash 3 of the cards from your opponent's deck. I think you can do them split, but it might be that it's all or nothing. Let me know or not in the comments if I'm being wrong here. But Davis and Ken's really powerful. Vikmon's really solid. Imperial Digimon Fighter mode. Ace is solid. Pyle Digimon's really good with its Partition. Partition's actually pretty solid in generalization. But all in all, I think also having the fact of Nightclaw is really solid. Then we're getting into yellow. We have Upamon here, so opponent's turn, while this Digimon has 2 or more colors, it gains blocker. Not terrible to gain blocker. Then you have Agumon here, so Light Fang, Nightclaw, 0 cost. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Light Fang in its traits and 1 card with Nightclaw in its trait, or 2 colors among them to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. It's trying to combo nicely with Agumon into it, and all your opponent's security Digimon gain minus 3000 DP. It's trying to play nicely with Agumon in Marcus's deck, similar how Galgamon tried to play with Thomas. But they also want to do the Light Fang Nightclaw thing. So, it's not terrible. We'll have to see if this continues, but Agumon's here just to be more support. Salamon here, starter main phase, on play. If it is your turn, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a level 4 Digimon card with Holy Beast or free in its traits, with the Digievolution cost reduced by 1. All your opponent's security Digimon gets minus 3000 DP. Gatomon here, so this is where I'm talking about. It's different angle. Gatomon's looking up, adding Quilamon, and Quilamon's looking down. So, on play, when Digivolving, it's got barrier. By trashing 1 card in your hand, return a level 6 or lower or 2 color Digimon. Level 6 or lower, 2 color Digimon card with red or purple from your trash to your hand. All your opponent's security Digimon gets to minus 3000 DP, making them all smaller so you can just swing in nicely. Sheepmon, it's an armor for Armadillomon, so it's Armor Plurge, and then Collusion. So during this Digimon's attack, all your opponent's Digimon gain blocker, and your opponent blocks if possible. So it forces a lot of blocks. So makes your opponent just cry because all their Digimon now have blocks, and now they're forced to swing in. So it's not a bad thing. All turns, when an attack target is switched, you may end the attack, which is quite nasty because you could easily keep Sheepmon on the board because they force the block, and because the attack target is switched because of the block, you basically stop the attack there and go like, well, now I can swing into it with my other bigger Digimon. So, can get really nasty with Sheepmon. Harpymon, Armor Purge for Hawkmon. Your turn while this Digimon checks an opponent's security. If you have 3 or more security cards, gain 1 memory. If you have 2 or fewer cards, recovery 1. Then we have Tempomon. This is Pulsemon's level 5. On play, when Digivolving, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gains minus 4,000 DP until the end of the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gains a security attack minus 2 until the end of the turn. You get both effects here at 3. More or less is basically what the effect continues from there. And a turn, 1 per turn. If this Digimon has Pulsemon in its text, by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. So unsuspending is just the name of the game. Slash Angemon here. So barrier reboot, all turns, 1 per turn. When a card is removed from your security stack, you may unsuspend this Digimon. Treat it as an angel. It has authority. It's kind of cool. Slash Angemon might see some play. Chaosmon here. Holy cow, this card has a lot of text. DNA Evolve yellow and black level 6. Barrier, blocker, partition for yellow level 6 Digimon. So when Digivolving, D-Digivolve 3 of one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 8,000 DP on the end of the turn, and then end opponent's turn, trash the top card of both security stacks. Quite interesting to see what Chaosmon does going forwards, but it's an interesting thing. And then Hacker Judge. So play this card without playing the cost. Start a turn. If you have 2 or fewer cards, set it to 3. It's a mem setter. Mind Link with a Pulsemon in its text. Then all turns while this Digimon has Pulsemon in its text, it gains blocker and barrier. And at end of turn, you may play 1 Hacker Judge from this Evolution card without paying its cost. This is all Mind Link stuff does. But he's also treated as Leon Alexander. Kind of interesting. We'll have to see what Leon Alexander does in the next set. The Spark of Destiny. This card is just better than what we have whatever the BT-8 version was. If you have a green Digimon, you may use this card ignoring color requirements. One of your Digimon with Gargo or Rapid in its name may Digivolve into a card with Rapid in its name from your hand, ignoring its Digivolution cost requirements without paying its cost. The Digimon that Digivolved with this effect cannot have its DP reduced by your opponent's effect until the end of turn. And then you may play 1 level 3 Terriermon in its name from hand or trash without paying cost, then add this card to hand. Spark of Destiny is really solid, actually. Then we have Dragon's Breath. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 yellow card or 1 card with 4 great dragon traits among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Then you may play this card into the battle area. So you may play 1 Trial the 4 Greats from your hand into the battle area, or trash 1 card with 4 great dragon traits to your hand. If you do, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP until the end of the turn. So you get a way of playing the 4 great dragons trial card, and then you do have a way of just minusing something off the board. Security, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP until the end of the turn, then place this card into the battle area. And then the secrets of the set. So Armor Purge, Rapidmon, 4 cost evolve, or 3 cost evolve for a level 5. Suspend all your opponent's Digimon, then if this Digimon may attack. All turns while Rapid or X Antibody is the Digivolution card, all your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 4,000 DP. This card is just nuts. Being able to suspend all your opponent's Digimon is crazy. And then all turns when an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle or by having 0 DP, gain 2 memory. This is just ridiculous. This thing is just nuts. Very powerful card. Then you have Magna X Antibody. I think this is just because they want to do something with the movie back for Touchdown. So this is just because both were in the movie. They just went with X Antibody here. That's my opinion. That's why they're both in here. So blocker, Armor Purge, when Digivolving, if you have Magnamon, X Antibody, or a card with Armor Form in its traits in the Digivolution card, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's effect. It gets plus 3,000 DP until the end of opponent's turn. And then unsuspend this Digimon. Free unsuspend, why not? All turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from the security stack, you may activate this Digimon's when Digivolving effect. Ridiculously powerful. Both are great cards. I hope to see a lot of potential with these cards, and we'll see if they continue with it. Now we're getting to green. Green has Minomon. The once per turn, all turns, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain a memory. So Wormmon support. Then you have Kabuterimon. So on play, reveal the top 4 cards of the deck, add 1 card with Insectoids and its traits among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. While this Digimon is suspended, gets plus 1,000 DP. Bug support. Finally, something really solid here, and Bug's got really good support. Terriermon X Antibody. So, Gummy or Terrier for 0. Really solid there, actually. Then, while this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with Gargo or Rapid in its name, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Crazy to me here. And then, while this Digimon has Gargo or Rapid in its name, it gains Piercing. Really solid. Then you have Pulsemon here, that Bibimon. Bibimon. 0 cost. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Pulsemon in its text and 1 card with the Abian Electronics traits among them to your hand. Return the rest of the bottom deck. Really surprised this wasn't a super rare, but hopefully we'll see something in the future. While this card has Pulsemon in its name, in its text, it gains 1000 DP. With it being hyper-focused on Pulsemon, it's just surprised it wasn't a super rare. They have Warpmon start a main phase on play. If it's your turn, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a level 4 Digimon card with Insectoid or Free in its trace from your trash without Digievolution cost reduced by 1. When attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It Digivolves on top of a level 2 red or blue, and it's green-purple. It plays in both decks. Then you have Stingmon here for Wormmon Retaliation on play. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. When attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Not a bad Stingmon. Then you have Blade Kuwagamon. Really interesting to see this card. On play, when Digivolving, one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP until the end of opponent's turn, treated as an Insectoid. While this Digimon is suspended, it gains 1000 DP. Not a bad card. We'll see if that actually sees play. Then you have Runnermon. So you run around, I run around. That's really funny. So Pulsemon costs 2 on play when Digivolving. If you have 3 or more security, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. If you have 3 or fewer security, gain 1 memory. While this Digimon has Pulsemon in its text, it gains 1000 DP. Not bad card, actually. Probably going to see some Pulsemon support. Pistimon. So on play when Digivolving, if you have 3 or more security cards, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if that Digimon can't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. If you have 3 or fewer security, gain 2 memory. Not a bad way of cheap climbing, right? So if the Digimon has Pulsemon in its text, by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. So the unsuspend stuff shows true here. Then you have Metal Life Kuwagamon here. So on play, when Digivolving, may suspend one Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon gets 3000 DP until the end of opponent's turn. And when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may switch the attack target to one of your Insectoids. Suspended Digimon with Insectoids in his trait. So nice little touch to be able to redirect. Then you have Grand Kuwagamon Ace, which is a rare, by the way. Really nutty. So on play, when Digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Cards suspended by this effect cannot unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Delete one of your opponent's suspended Tamers. Your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes suspended, one of your Digimon gains security +1 for the turn. So this is where you get to have your OTK shenanigans. But Overflow 4, we kind of know this, but it combos really nastily with Tyrant Kabuterimon once we get there. Achillesmon. So it's been a little bit since we had Achilles, but when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon cannot unsuspend until the end of opponent's turn. All turns when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle. If you have 3 or more security, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. If you have 3 or fewer security, gain 2 memory. So you kind of notice that if you're at the magical number 3, which this deck can easily achieve, you're going to do a lot for a really good price. Tyrant Kabuterimon is a super rare. When Digivolving, you may play 1 Digimon card with Insectoid or Larval in its traits from your hand without paying its cost. Reduce it by 8. Free Grandest Kuwagamon Ace right here. All turns when this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by effects of your opponent's Digimon. So really, you're going to have a hard time swinging into this thing because with all the inheritables, this thing gets big quick. End of your turn, once returned by suspending one of your other Digimon, return one of your opponent's Digimon with the DP less than or equal to the DP of the Digimon suspended by this effect to the bottom of the deck. So, nice removal. Tyrant Kabuterimon's just scary. Then, Shine of the Beast. Suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon, then return all your opponent's suspended Digimon with the lowest DP to the bottom of the deck. All your Digimon get plus 3000 DP until the end of opponent's turn. So, he's just beefy on beef. And then, activate main. So this is crazy. A lot of good support here. I'm not even joking. I'm not surprised. This is really good. So we'll have to see if this continues. Now we're getting into black, and then we have purple, and then white. We have Doraemon here, so all turns, when another Digimon with blocker is deleted, gain a memory. So it's not bad. We'll see what the whole Doru Gray line does in a minute. Then you have Commandramon here. All turns, all your other Digimon with Digipolice or D-Brigade in its traits gain 1000 DP. not bad. It's a good solid card. It replaces some of the D-Brigade stuff if you're just hyper-focusing on D-Brigade. All turns, all your other Digimon with D-Brigade or Digipolice in the traits gets 1000 DP. Not a bad stackable ability. Then we have Hagurumon X. Who put Machinedramon on their list for the set? You may play one Kohogurumon Black, 1000 DP, block or decoy for black. Your turn, this Digimon cannot attack token. Not a bad token. It's those little bobby things that'll just play one. But, you know, it's blocker, so it's not a bad thing to promote up early, gets you a Digi-Evolution draw. It's not a bad blocker decoy, so especially if they're going to try to pop your stack early on, you needed something to protect it. Now you can have the champion out. If they don't have a way of double popping, you're in a good spot. Then you have Dorumon here, start a main phase by placing one Kosuke from your hand as this Digimon bottom Digi-Evolution card. This Digimon cannot leave the barrier other than by deletion until the end opponent's turn. Then all turns gets 1000 DP. Dorumon's pretty solid, especially once we talk about Kosuke. Then we have Sealdramon here. On play, when Digivolving by returning 3 cards with D-Brigade or Digipolice from your trash to the top of your deck. This Digimon gains Rush and cannot be blocked until the end of turn. So free attack, really not a bad thing. You notice that instead of worrying about the big boy, they went for the smaller guys now. They kind of all just gain Rush now in a way that just makes them really scary. Then all turns, all your other Digimon, D-Brigade or Digipolice gain plus 1000 DP, just making them beefy and strong. No Namekimon. So on play, when Digivolving, it Digivolves on top of a Pulsemon. If you have 3 or more security, one of your Digimon cannot have his DP reduced until you by your opponent's effects and isn't affected by Digi-Evolution effects until the end of opponent's turn. If you have 3 or fewer security, one of your Digimon gains block or reboot until the end of turn. If you can get both on there, you're really nasty. All turns, while this Digimon is Pulsemon in its text, it gains 1000 DP. Nameki's probably going to see some play. Publimon. So on play, when Digivolving, you may place the top card of one of your opponent's Digimon with Vaccine. You may place the top card of one of your opponent's Digimon with Vaccine trait at the top of your opponent's security stack. All turns, when a card is added to your opponent's security stack, if you have 3 or more security, trash the top or bottom of their security stack. Crazy free removal. The fact that we got the anti-vaccine card while they were beating us up with our virus is a nice little card to just see in play. Then you have Mechanorimon on play by placing one of your Digimon other than with by placing one of your Digimon with the Digipolice trait as this Digimon's bottom Digi-Evolution, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Your turn, this Digimon with no Digi-Evolution cannot attack. So, it's not bad for its on play, so it has a way of just having it there. And it's a blocker armor purge. So basically, it protects your Commandramon. Then you have Dorumon. So, it has collusion with, or collusion, forces blocks. On play, when Digivolving by trashing one card in your hand, draw a card. Then if this Digimon has a Tamer with Sons of Chaos in his traits in his Digi-Evolution card, one of your opponent's Digimon start a main phase. This Digimon attacks until the end of their turn. So it forces attack at the start of the main phase. Then you have Enkylomon, which is really awesome. On play, when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack players until the end of turn. And then all turns, Digimon gets 1000 DP. Did I miss something here? Where is... Did I miss somebody? I did. I missed Armadillo. Wow. I knew I missed somebody. So Armadillomon, your turn, one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolves if it is a yellow and has free in its traits, gain a memory. So just the same thing here. Yellow and blue for 1 cost. Upamon for 0. All turns, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Just make some beefcakes. Then you have Shootmon. So on play, when Digivolving, if you have 3 or more security cards, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. If you have 3 or fewer security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the play cost 6 or less. So if you're at 3 is the magic number, Digivolve, and then delete a 6 play cost. End of turn, once per turn, if this Digimon has Pulsemon in its text, by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon. So multi-attacking is pretty cool. You have Take-Dramon here. On play, this is Digipolice version. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. For each card with D-Brigade or Digipolice to trade among them, reduce the play cost of all your opponent's Digimon by 1. For the turn, return the reveal cards to the top or bottom of the deck, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 4 or less. All turns, when one of your other Digimon with D-Brigade or Digi-Police in its traits is played, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Not bad. Tankdramon will probably see play. Then you have Zamazetsumon. This is a Gamamon card. On play, when Digivolving, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon on play cost 3 or less. All turns, Digimon gains all effects of cards with Gamamon in its name and its Digivolution cards. And same thing here. Kind of cool that they kind of went with more Gamamon support. Not bad. Doru Gray Collusion as well. All turns, when an attack target is switched, the Digimon with a tamer with SOC in its traits in its Digivolution may Digivolve into a card with Beast, Undead, or SOC in its traits for your hand without paying its cost. All turns, when this Digimon deletes another Digimon in you may play one Digimon with X antibody or SOC trait. It'll play cost 5 or less from your trash without paying its cost. So really solid. We're going to see what it wants to do with Dorugamon. Shikuamon. So partition, we've already talked about this. When Digivolving, this Digimon isn't affected by effects of your opponent's Digimon until the end of the turn. Then if you DNA Digivolve, place one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the number of cards is in yours and your opponent's security stack at the bottom of their opponent's security stack. So nice removal. Really crazy that is less than or equal to the number of cards in both your security stacks. Crazy. You can remove a lot with this card. Darkdramon here. So when you would play this card, if there is a Digimon with boss traits, reduce the play cost by 6 by returning 6 cards with D-Brigade and its traits from trash to the top of the deck. Reduce the play cost by 6. I don't get it, but it's a little pricey. On play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost less than or equal to the play cost of one of the cards among them. Trash the reveal cards. And in turn, 2 of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Chaosdramon in your hand. So if we can get Bancho on the board as well, Darkdramon Bancho really could probably do something. Then you have Dorugamon Collusion. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has a tamer with with Sons of Chaos in its traits in the Digivolution, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon or tamers. All turns, when another Digimon is deleted, you may unsuspend this Digimon. Free removal, not bad. Then we have the card that is the longest thing to ever pronounce. Metro Police Department, Community Safety Bureau, Cyber Crime Division, Investigating Unit 11, Digimon Crime Response Team. Holy cow, say that 15 times, like 3 times fast, and you'll be tongue-tied. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with D-Brigade or Digi-Police traits among them to your hand. Return the rest to the top of the deck. Then place this card into the battle area. Delay. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 card with D-Brigade or Digi-Police in its traits. It will play cost 4 or less without paying its cost. Trash the rest. Really not a bad card. Probably going to see actually some play, but do not expect me to say this whole card out loud. I'm just going to say the police department. Security. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with D-Brigade or Digi-Police trait among them to your hand. Return the rest to the top of the deck. Then place this in the battle area. Not a bad card, actually. Really solid. Then we do have Dorujin. If you have a Digimon with Dorugamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer with a play cost 4 or less. Then delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So free Tamer removal. Loving to see more and more of it. Then we have Ancient Angel of Steel. You may play 1 Inkylomon Angemon from your hand without paying its cost. Then 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon in your hand. If DNA Digivolve, recovery 1. And then basically you play an Armadillo or Patamon if it's checked in security, and then add this card to hand. Then you have Kosuke here. Mind Link, it's a mem setter. So all turns while this Digimon has X Antibody or Son of Chaos in its traits, it gains Piercing and Blocker. So finally, Alphamon support, really nice Alphamon support. End of all turns, you may play 1 Kosuke from this Digivolution card without paying its cost. Remember, these are going to focus on their own decks. I love that Ryuta went to its own deck. Dorugamon went to its own deck. It's not all hyper-focused into Alphamon anymore. I like that. There are some people that just wanted their separate decks. Then you have Cody and TK. Cody's just so short compared to TK. You may play 1 Armadillo or Patamon from your hand without paying its cost. It's just going to play the rookie you know at the start of your main phase. At the end of turn, they just disappear. They get returned to your hand, but you're going to Jogress them anyway. Then your turn, when one of your Digimon Digivolves into a black or yellow Digimon by suspending the tamer, gain a memory. If DNA Digivolve, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Not a bad thing. Cody and TK is going to be really nasty, in my opinion. Then we're getting into purple itself. Who put Cupimon on their card? So, Cupimon, on deletion by trashing 1 card in your hand, gain a memory. Then we have Sayokamon X Antibody, starter main phase. When Digivolving, Your opponent may trash one Digimon card in their hand. If they don't, gain a memory, so it extends your plays. When attacking, draw a card, then trash a card in your hand. Notice what they're doing. They're trying to make other avenues of drawing and trashing cards. That's what they're going to do. This is probably a sign that Garurumon X Antibody is going somewhere. Just having fun with it. Lopmon X Antibody on play when Digivolving by trashing one card in your hand. One of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP, and then your turn, when in effect, plays one of your Digimon, draw a card. I love Lopmon X Antibody. She's so adorable. The crown, the poofs, everything is adorable about Lopmon X Antibody. Then you have Doberman on play when Digivolving. One of your Digimon gains blocker until the end of the opponent's turn. Doberman, when in effect, plays one of your other Digimon, draw a card. So combos nicely for the Anubismon shenanigans. Then you have Gosomon X Antibody on play when Digivolving. If you have Gusso or X Antibody in his Digi-Evolution cards, trash the bottom 3 cards under one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Then one of their Digimon or Tamers without cards underneath it cannot suspend until the end of opponent's turn. Then when attacking, draw a card, trash one card in your hand. Not a bad thing for Tamer hate, so it's not bad. Then you have Mad Leomon. So when Digivolving, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with Leomon in its name from your hand or trash. End of attack, by deleting this Digimon, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its cost. Not a bad inheritable, actually. Sethmon, Vmon, Purple Red. When Digivolving, when attacking, you may choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. And your chosen Digimon. Then you have Kenimon. So, on play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, trash 2 purple cards among them, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. On deletion, you may trash, from your trash, you may play one Tamer with Myotismon in its text, without the same name as one of your Tamers, without paying its cost. Kenimon, really solid. Let's see if Mummymon can do something too. On play, draw 2. It has Retaliation, trash 2 cards in your hand. On deletion, from your trash, you may play one Tamer with Myotismon in its text, without the same name as one of your Tamers, without paying its cost. So Mummy and Kenny kind of do the same thing. They're going to want to play themselves. Or, you know who. Then you have Climbmon. When Digivolving, it's Pulsemon support. If you have 3 or more security, draw 2 cards. Then trash 1 card in your hand. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, you may play one Digimon with 6000 DP or Pulsemon in its text from your trash without paying its cost. At the next time your opponent turn end, delete that Digimon, and then end of turn, once per turn, if the Digimon has Pulsemon in its text, by trashing the top. They all kind of do that. And then Solugarmon. So when Digivolving, by trashing 2 cards in your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. If this effect didn't delete, you may play a level 4 or lower with Sons of Chaos traits from your trash without paying its cost. All turns when one of your other Digimon with Sons of Chaos in its trait is deleted. This Digimon with a Tamer in his Digi-Evolution may Digivolve into Fenrilugamon from your trash without paying its cost. Free evolution is never bad. End of a turn, once per turn, if your opponent has 1 or more memory, unsuspend this Digimon. Not bad. Then we have Dino B, which started off Imperial Dramon, Red Imperial Dramon's crazy shenanigans, but you can also play this in the Fenrilugamon deck. It has Raid, Partition, Red, Purple. When Digivolving, if you DNA Digivolve, you may play one level 5 or lower Digimon with free traits from your trash without paying the cost. Then one of your Digimon gains Rush for the turn and may attack a player. Not bad, especially if you can swing in nicely. I don't think this is a bad card. Dino B really is solid for the Red, Purple Imperial Dramon. Then you have Pheromon. So on play, when Digivolving, delete one level 4 or lower. Then your turn, when in effect deletes another Digimon, you may play one level 5 or lower card with undead or dark animal traits from your trash without paying its cost. They just power crept a super rare and made it uncommon. What? Pheromon's basically better than the Chaos Gallantmon that we got back in like set 4. And then Malmyotismon, when Digivolving, when attacking, by deleting one of your Digimon or Tamers, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. If this effect didn't delete one of your opponent's Digimon, delete one of your opponent's Tamers. All turns, once per turn, when one of your other Digimon or Tamer is deleted, by an effect, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Not bad. Myotismon could see some decent play. Then you have Trubamon X Antibody with Alliance. When Digivolving, when attacking, you may play one level 4 or lower yellow or green Digimon card from your hand or trash without paying its cost. Not a bad build up. End of turn, once per turn, if Cherubimon or X Antibodies Digi-Evolution cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower. For each of your other Digimon, add one maximum level to this effect that it can choose. Not a bad Cherubi card. Then you have Shroudmon. So this card's been Pulsemon's long waited. So when Digivolving, end of attack, if you have 3 or more security, it's once per turn. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn. If you have 3 or fewer security, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So you want to be at the magic 3 at all times. All turns when this effect would leave the battle area by your opponent's effect. If you have 3 or more security cards, by trashing the top card of your security stack, prevent it from leaving. On deletion, recovery 1 until you have 3 security cards. Crazy. Actually, pretty strong Shroudmon. Then you have Demon Wolf of the Castle of the Nine Wolves. Getting long here, guys. Why do we need these long words? Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Sons of Chaos traits among them to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. If an effect added a card, trash 1 card in your hand. Then place this card in the battle area. Delay. You may play 1 Sons of Chaos from your trash with a play cost reduction of 2. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Sons of Chaos among them to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. If an effect added a card, trash 1 card in your hand. Then place this card in the battle area. Then we have Thunderflame Cluster. So while you have a Digimon or Tamer with Pulsemon in its text, you may use this card without meeting color requirements. When you would use this card by trashing the top card of your security stack until you have at least 3 cards left. Reduce the use of this cost by 2 for each card trash. This thing can get free. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5 or lower. Then if you have 2 or fewer security cards, place this card at the bottom of your security stack. And then security one of your opponent's Digimon minus 15,000 until the end of turn. This card is really good. Then you have Arukeni and Mummymon. When Arukeni or Mummy would be placed from your hand by deleting this tamer, reduce the cost by 3. So, kind of combos very nicely with what's been going on here for Mumsies on deletion and all that crazy shenanigans. So, on deletion, you may play a level 5 or lower card with Myotismon in its text from your trash without paying its cost. Delete that Digimon at the end of the opponent's next turn. So you just set up your Myotismon plays. And then finally, we have the white cards. We have a new Ukobon. So your turn, when one of your other Digimon moves from the breeding area to battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card or tamer among them to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom deck, and then you may hatch in your breeding area. Not a bad card. Actually, I could see the C play, especially with the other Upa. Louis is start of your turn. If you have 2 or fewer cards, set yourself to 3. If you have 2 or fewer memory, set yourself to 3. Then main by deleting one of your Ukomon and trashing one of your Digimon in the breeding area. By deleting one of your Ukomon and trashing one of your Digimon in the breeding area, you may play 1 big Uka in your breeding area from your hand for a cost of 3. Yeah, not bad. Then you have big Ukomon here. On deletion, return all tamers to their owner's hand. Then if you may play 1 tamer card from your hand and 1 Ukomon from your trash without paying its cost. End of turn. Once returned by returning 1 Digimon card from your trash to the bottom of the Digi-Egg deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest level. Then you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand to the breeding area without paying its cost. So that's kind of all of BT-16 in a nutshell. Holy cow, a lot of good cards actually. Really good generics. It is BT 8.5 really. So beginning observer is not a bad set. I think this is really going to get, like with the last couple sets, you kind of start noticing that they're kind of like a reboot style of play where they're focusing on more niche cards. A lot of their uncommons and rares are kind of a little more beefier cards. They're not as restricted to super rares. They're kind of just boosting up a lot of decks. They kind of are splashable. They're not restrictive. You know, this is kind of pretty cool to see. So let's hope this trend continues. So guys, what is your favorite card so far revealed in BT-16? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.